right. Welcome to the Philly Fox and Danny D Eagles podcast. That's the star of the show, Philly Fox, and I'm your host, Danny D. And we are coming to you from our Eagles perch in the Ed Bobco Memorial Studios in beautiful Morristown, PA. Today we are going to preview Week 18, Giants and Eagles at the Link, plus Philly's picks on Week 18 and the score for the Eagles and Giants. But we got to start with the news of the week. All right, first topic. No Jalen at practice today, Philly. What do you think about that?
I think they're just being safe with him. They don't want to rush him back.
Okay. Well, let's put it to, so he must not have cleared concussion protocol. Well, let me ask you this: if he was cleared today and he did actually practice, would you play him on Sunday?
Well, personally, no, the risk outweighs the rewards. So,
Okay, not even for a series or two or whatever.
well, at the most, a series or two, but no more.
Yeah, yeah. I I'll be honest with you. I think I'd agree with what you said first, though, that he shouldn't play. But I wouldn't be mad if they did. But I think a good solid week of practice would be enough for him to knock the rust off. And also Kenny K2G Pickett, okay, didn't practice today, and I guess his ribs still hurting him. What do you think about chances of him playing on Sunday, or do you think he should play on Sunday?
Well, no, it's a meaningless game.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah, maybe Jalen if they really felt they had to knock a little rust off, but Pickett, yeah, they shouldn't play. They shouldn't play him at all because the rib is one of those injuries that really is hard to get rid of, and he played in a lot of pain last week. And besides, Tanner McKee played really well last week, don't you think?
We threw two touchdown passes, only four pass attempts.
Yeah, that's a pretty good percentage, right? That's 50% of his passes were for touchdowns. That's pretty darn good. And so he and who's the new guy? Ian Book. I guess they took all the snaps in practice today. So I guess that's good, because McKee already looked good. He gets some more reps. Ian Book, let's just say, hey, worst case scenario, right? We lose our third string quarterback. At least he's getting some reps, and we'd hope that at least he could just ride out the game, and we don't really need to win or anything. So, all right. But now the big news of the week is,
That Barkley won't be going for the record.
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of sad about it. I really am. I don't think Barkley's happy about it. I don't think Mailata and most of the other linemen. I know, um, who was it? Was it Dickerson? I think Dickerson said might have made a comment, but I couldn't quote you on it. But basically, he wasn't that much in favor of going for it. But I think all the other guys wanted it, and Barkley really wanted it. He's been politically correct, and he tried to hide his feelings. How do you feel about that?
Well, if you're playing the long game, it's the right move.
Yeah, I mean it is, but I mean, I don't know. Don't you really think he wanted it? And I think he kind of deserved it. But if they, you can't argue. But so Nick made the supposedly Nick made the decision. He's the one that made the announcement. Do you think he really made the decision on that?
We had input from Laurie and Howie.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, well, in my opinion, I think he got a little bit more than just their opinion. I think he might have got outvoted. I feel that Nick's a player's coach, and I think he probably saw how much Barkley really wanted it, even though he wasn't saying so. But you know what? We can't fault them for wanting to play for the Super Bowl and not jeopardize anything. But I do feel bad for him. And let's face it, would it have not been really good to have gotten it against.
The Giants of all teams.
Yeah, right. I mean, Mara there at the game and the GM, and Mara says don't get rid of him. The GM gets rid of him. He comes to a division rival and rushes for 2,000 yards and could easily have broken the record if they didn't have more to play for. So yeah, I mean, you can't write stories like that. It would have been sweet. It would have been sweet. All right. Well, how about picking the score on the game, Philly? What do you got on that?
Well, the Eagles 24, Giants 14.
Yeah, pretty conservative, right? Because the Eagles aren't going to go crazy, but I don't know, man. You never know. I mean, you were kind of conservative last week, and then joked about the possibility of it being a rout, and you were actually closer with that score. And it could be the same thing this week. It could be close, or it could be a rout. I mean, I got nothing on this game, because they don't want to win, and we don't need it. It's really more of just getting some people some quality playing time and getting them some quality reps. All right, well, let's go to our Week 18 games. First game, we got 2 games on Saturday. The first one on Saturday is the Browns and Ravens. Who do you have winning that game, Philly?
Well, the Ravens, because they might need it for the AFC North title.
Okay, all right. And then the other Saturday game is the Bengals and Steelers.
I got the Bengals because same thing. Like their playoff hopes are on the line. Like the Steelers are already in.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and the Bengals need that. What did the Bengals won last week, right?
Well, but they need a lot of help. They need the Dolphins to lose.
Yeah. But I mean, and that was a close game. But you okay?
Yes.
But you need the Dolphins
and the Broncos to lose too. So
okay,
they need a lot to help. So
okay, but so they're going to try to help. They're going to do everything they can to help themselves. Okay, so now let's start with the Sunday games. We got the Commanders and the Cowboys.
We got the Commanders because they're playing for something. Like Dallas isn't.
Yeah, and after the way the Cowboys looked last week, I mean, really, I don't know what. Yeah, they shouldn't look too good this week. All right, Panthers and Falcons.
Well, I got the Falcons because they're still playing for something.
They're still playing for something, yeah, and they're probably the better team. Okay, Texans and Titans.
Well, I got the Titans because they're actually the favorite, and Houston's probably resting their starters. So
yeah, and they're at home too. So okay, Jags and Colts.
Well, I got the Colts, home team, but both teams have nothing to play for, so it's a hard game to pick.
Yeah. I mean, I do think the Colts are a little bit better team, and they're at home.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I never disagree with his picks. Never, no. But we got Bears and Packers.
Well, Packers were playing for better playoff seeding, so they're going to romp the Bears.
Okay, all right, and they're at home too. We got Saints and Bucks.
I mean, unfortunately, the Bucks. But...
Yeah, we don't like picking. I know you don't like picking the Bucks. Yeah. Okay, and then I think these guys just played a couple of weeks ago. We got the Bills. This time they're at New England.
We'll say it's a meaningless game. The Bills are locked into the 2 seed, but even with backups, they're better than the Pats.
Yeah. Right. Yep. I think definitely right there. And Chargers and the Raiders.
Well, Chargers, same thing. Like they might be locked into their seeding, but even with backups, they're better than the Raiders.
Yeah. Raiders are actually, they're kind of like the Giants. They're probably better off losing right now, and it'll help them out with the draft pick, right? So we got 49ers and Cardinals.
So 2 teams eliminated, but the Cardinals are at home. So
at home, yeah, it's about the and Chiefs and Broncos.
Well, I got the Broncos because Carson Wentz is starting for the Chiefs, and
okay,
they need it for their playoff hopes. Like if they slip up and either Cincinnati or Miami wins, they're done. So.
Yeah, Chiefs are resting everybody. Andy came out and said that. Okay, Seahawks and the Rams.
Well, I got the Seahawks because the Rams are resting starters probably because they locked the division up. So
okay, yeah, and Dolphins and the Jets.
Well, Dolphins, they're playing for something. Even if Tua doesn't play, Rodgers has looked horrible this past week. So
yeah, and of course they're playing to help the Bengals, right? No,
they're playing for their own hopes. So.
Yeah, I'm just kidding about that. All right. So and then the last game. Oh wow, this I mean, this has got to be this is the game of the week, right?
Well, Vikings and Lions.
Vikings and Lions, yeah.
I mean, I got the Lions because they're at home.
Sure, yeah. And yeah, and they're both they're still playing for the
Number 1 seed.
So they both got a lot to play for, but I see giving them the edge to the Lions because they're at home. Otherwise, to me, man, that's a pick'em game. I wouldn't know which way to go. Okay, well, all right. So those are Philly's picks, and so all right, sounds good. So remember, if you don't hate us,
like us.
Yep, and then subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right.